Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to my channel, The State of Play. My name is Zach. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background here, I have been collecting and involved in this world with fidgets since the summer of 2024, so last year. I always wanted to start a YouTube channel, a review channel. I found all of the people who currently do YouTube channels so helpful when I first got started. And plus, whenever something comes out, I always get that super excited feeling of, who's reviewed it? Let me get an idea of what their thoughts and opinions are, and it can help me make a purchasing decision. So, decided to kind of kick off my channel here to hopefully do the same for others that the YouTube channels currently out there have done for me. And I think I have a pretty good piece to start us off. We have with us the Pyra by TwoEDC in collaboration with M3. Just a really quick note here before I dive into the slider itself. I am originally from Oklahoma City. I live in Texas, but I'm originally from Oklahoma City, where both Samuel Roscoe of TwoEDC and Michael Morris of M3 reside. And so last weekend when I was in town for Easter, Michael invited me over to the M3 Gorilla shop, which was so awesome. We got to hang out, show off fidgets, show off the collections. Michael gave me a tour, and we just got to hang out, and they're both awesome guys. Absolutely blast to hang out with them. And I'm just so grateful because they also gave me this chance to purchase a Pyra directly from them. So I always think it's important when doing these type of YouTube videos and people coming and watching for my opinion. I always like to point this out. This was purchased with my own money. It was not a gift, and Samuel and Michael did not ask me to say anything, and so I don't even know if they know I'm making a review. So with that being said, in the future, if something comes across the table with that was given to me, I'll make sure to tell you guys about that, because I think it is important to note that when people are doing reviews. So let's dive into this one, guys. The Pyra. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in here a little bit. The Pyra. So some specs for you all, for the technical folks out there. We have an aluminum body, a stainless steel plates, titanium screws, which we'll talk about here in a second. And this is the very first design. So this is literally the first production released slider that they have done here. When it comes to weight, I can do all of that on camera, but I have all the numbers here for you guys. We are looking at right around that 41.5 grams weight, and then when it comes to length, we are looking at 47 millimeters. Width, we are looking at 27 millimeters, and then thickness, we are looking at 12 millimeters. So I do have calibers and I do have weights here, so I can always do that on camera, but just want to dive in and talk a little bit more about the most important thing, which in my opinion, it makes the slider amazing, because that is the short story of my review. This is an absolutely amazing slider, S-tier slider in my opinion. The reason behind that is these plates, and the origins of the name of the slider, the Pyra slider, comes from these plates. Samuel and Michael kind of came up with this new design for plates, where at the 4 points on these corners here, they have essentially machined into the stainless steel pyramids. So they've removed material and created 4 points of contact on both plates here. And that results in a phenomenal slide here. So I'm not sure if it'll come across, but I do have a light here. So it is, you can slightly see that gap there with this light. Slightly there as well. So it's not a really big gap in the plates, but what that does is it just creates a buttery smooth slide. It is not like you're sliding actual nothing, but it just has a perfect amount of resistance to slide flow. And it's phenomenal. And so these guys have really created something amazing, because this is a new design. When it comes to plate designs, just to quickly go through it, we have, the wrapped, which was pretty innovative for its time when it came out with the gapped plates. You have deferring patterns in stainless steel, so creating different patterns in stainless steel, like this Fidget Boy, which this is also gapped a little bit due to machining and kind of the bending and the suction of the screw a little bit, it looks like. But deferring designs on the plates, which causes less friction. And then, of course, there's material aspects. So stainless steel is the standard, I think, for most sliders, but you have Teflon, you have titanium, which is not very standard at all, but somehow Compiform Ivan Gustav is able to make that happen. And so these guys, Samuel and Michael, have done this is wizardry here. It's magic, machinist magic here, and created this new design that absolutely is phenomenal from a slide perspective. Really cool thing, they've actually gone ahead and submitted a provisional patent on it. So this is truly their design. They came up with it, they're owning it. And yeah, I think that's just super cool. And why I believe this slider is a S-tier slider. One thing I just like to always kind of point out here, or at least what Samuel pointed out to me, is once you get to, the fall of a slider, sometimes sliders, not all of them, but sometimes sliders can kind of get stuck. I'm trying to think of a slider that currently does that for me. I think this one here, yeah. So this is a Magnus sweep with Zerk plates, which I think that's mainly the reason why it's sticking a little bit, is the Zerk. It has that coating of Zerk. When you blacken it, I think it does have a little bit more rubbery, sticky feel, but this essentially cannot happen with the Pyra, because it is, so even if I do I'm not even so it is free flowing there. Because it's just 2 points of contact, there's 2 pyramids connecting it. It will always fall, and the fall of it is phenomenal. So if you look at the slider here, you'll notice the other kind of novelty of it is going to be the design. Outside of just the plates, which is unique because there's no screw in the plates, so the screws are coming from the top in, which is also another really cool part of this design. An attention to detail here is they are using titanium screws, and then it is going directly into stainless steel. And so the way that they explained it to me and theoretically, it is almost impossible to strip these screws and strip out like the screws from the threading here, which is possible in other sliders. You know, if you are over tightening and stuff, it should be almost impossible to do that with this type of design. So you have no screws on the plates, screws coming in at the top, and the design aesthetic, right, that comes with that is kind of this more mechanical feel, kind of more like knife scales, kind of type 5, you know, the exposed screws in a knife scale, and very reminiscent also of kind of an OG Fidget, which is the torque bar. If you go back to the torque bar, the OG torque bars and some of the customs that Scott put out, he was doing that exposed screws for the weights at the end of the fidgets and stuff like of his spinners and stuff like that. So definitely some inspiration there. Overall though, guys, it is phenomenal. Just everything, aesthetic, weight, size, size-wise, just to give it a little bit of a comparison here, it's a little bit bigger, a little bit taller than a wrapped, but not as tall as a wispy, and kind of same with thickness here. It goes kind of, the wrapped is a little bit thicker than the Pyra, than the wispy, when it comes to thickness. So it's in that perfect sweet spot, for me at least, what I find and what I like to slide. And yeah, it's an S tier slider. I would probably put it up there as, you know, it's in this category here. We have a titanium SGS here. I'm not really just talking about the model of wrapped, but putting this as a wrapped in general. It's definitely competing with this, which in my opinion, you call me a fanboy, but I am a fanboy. I'm a Modus and a wrapped fanboy, so that for me is the highest praise, is that it is basically 1B. You can call it 2, but it's so good. I'm super excited to see what they are going to put out there. We talked a little bit about it on different designs, different kind of thoughts on how they're going to do the layouts and stuff like that, and materials, and there's a lot more to come. So I'm going to sign off on that note. I just want to do a quick thank you once again to Samuel and Michael for allowing me to purchase this, showing me the shop, being just absolutely phenomenal hosts when I was there. I'm super excited. Hopefully in the future I will be able to go back up there and hang out with them. And for those out there that are wanting to purchase a Pyra, I know Samuel and Michael are working really, really hard to put more out there. It's very limited availability, but they are working really hard to get more out there, and they will be doing susses on their Facebook pages. So look out for that, and give them a little bit of grace, guys, as well, because they are truly doing everything in-house. Everything from the machining, the plates, the boxing, laser engraving, laser cutting the foam, everything is being done in the USFA in Oklahoma City, my hometown. So shout out to the homies in OKC. So give them a little bit of grace on the amount that is out there. They're obviously working their butts off to get out more, and we're super excited to see where it's coming, where it's going to go. So thank you all for joining. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. Please feel free to leave a comment. I will absolutely do my best to respond to everyone. If you have any questions, let me know. Certainly not an expert, but I can certainly give you my opinion. Thank you all. Peace.